Alrighty, everybody, and welcome back to Questing for Glory, Hope and Healing 2. Coming right up is going to be a run of Chroma Squad by CosmykTheDolfyn. Take it away.
Why, hello, everybody. So yes, this is Chroma Squad, and yes, this is my poorly made outfit, superhero style outfit, because I quite literally just got out of the hospital a few days ago. I'm currently at my sister-in-law's house, not in my own home, so we really had to make do with the outfit. But yeah, this is Chroma Squad, and I've got Shawnee with me on commentary, and as you've already heard, the wonderful Ghost Kumo as host still, and we'll do a good job of messing with him quite a bit, I'm sure.
He's doing a great impression of a dog, by the way. It's amazing.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, but
we have Obi on uninvited guest commentary.
No, Obi's a good boy in the other room. Thank you. He's actually being quiet.
yeah, but there we go. So I guess we're ready to count down.
Also, if there's any questions as well, I have 2 chats open, so feel free to ask them, and I can pass them to Cosmic.
Yeah, because I am just playing this on my laptop. I don't have 2 screens, so I only have my game feed up. So yeah, any questions in chat, Shawnee will pick them up.
Yep.
Yeah. So countdown ready? Yes, no. Okay. Yeah. So 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Good luck.
So this game's storyline is that we are filming a really poor budget TV show, and we have some really big glitches right at the start, which I got. Thank goodness. I immediately
Easy
got.
peasy.
Yeah. So yeah, you could see how funky the screen was kind of jumping around there and messing with stuff. That was a glitch to confuse the game into what season we are currently filming. So we skipped the first part of the game automatically.
Yeah, so that I asked Cosmic about this. This skips about 15 minutes already, so that's pretty impressive for a skip when you literally just started the game. But there's also no tutorials, really.
I assume you just reset till you get it?
Yeah. All it is that basically you can, if you are in the right frame of the let's see, am I on the sword? Yeah, I'm on the sword, and I need the toy pistol also for skill. Yeah. And I need the giraffe Avenger room. There we go. But basically, yeah, if you just spam the sign contract button, you can convince the game that you've signed the contract multiple times.
Yep.
And this will advance you from signing the Season 1 contract of the game to Season 2 instantly.
Yep, which you get money, you can do your shopping route, you can assign skill points, all the stuff you really don't have access to if you just start the game at Season 1.
Yeah. So the way this game does work is it is a strategy RPG, but we are filming a Sentai TV show with 5 quote-unquote Power Rangers. They're actually the Chroma Squad, and every single episode is just, defeat the monster of the week. The storyline gets more dire as you play the game, but thanks to all of that, we were able to immediately start into Season 2 and just start kind of midway through the story. But we have our 5 characters here. You can hire different actors that have different stats, and then each actor fulfills a different role within the team. So we have a scout, an assault, a lead actress, a tech person, and an assist. And red shirt there is lead actress. Yellow pants is scout. Furry is the techie in the panda suit. Pink shirt guy is our assist character, and they all have different abilities. And this first episode of Season 2 just begins with survive X number of turns. So
Yes.
So instead of trying to survive X number of turns, I'm just instead of attacking these enemies, I'm just letting them beat up on me because I did buy some items to help my defense, so I'll be able to survive these pretty low-level enemies just messing with me.
Yeah, and the thing is with the survive for X turns kind of thing, that will pop up a lot during the run. Not sorry, a lot, but like it will pop up occasionally, and that will be a good time for like donations and other things like that, because literally Cosmic is just letting the enemies just beat them up. That's it.
Yep.
It saves time.
Yeah. The fastest way to get through it is use the teamwork button here. That just instantly ends your turn. The other fun thing about this is that this game does not have, even though it is a tactical RPG, strategy RPG, it does not have a typical leveling system. You don't actually gain experience points. What you gain are fans of the show, since you are filming a live TV show.
Mm-hmm.
And the more enemies you defeat, the more fans of the show there will be. And the more director objectives we follow, the more fans you will get. The handy thing about this game is that we don't want to do a lot of those director objectives. They take a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
So to get enough fans to actually level up, what we're going to do quite a bit during the run is just dump all our money into advertising agencies, which will get us a lot of fans.
So Cosmic, who's this pickle jar?
This is Cerebro. He is the leader of the team, and he's just he's there to give us instructions, tell us what to do. But yeah, I've got enough people watching the show now that Cerebro's on screen that I can chromatize, which gets us into a superpowered mode. The number of fans you have dictates when and where you can get into this chromatized state. Chromatize is incredibly powerful, so
Yes.
we want to use it as much as possible.
Oh, got some materials from those enemies there.
Yeah, which is good because I actually do want some duct tape, so that is handy. Ooh, oh, he dodged. I was like,
almost nice counter.
Yeah, you usually don't want counter, but it was like, yeah, that would have saved me a turn. But he dodged the counter. So there we go. We defeated we got all the director's instructions there because, it was just defeat all the enemies quickly, so obviously we want to do that. And here's the boss. The teamwork that I was doing earlier actually has a benefit of that you can throw the other characters across the screen, which means that I could throw two characters directly at the boss, and they do attack the boss of episode 2-1, and that is the boss fight over before the boss even gets a chance to attack.
Which you'll see occasionally in this run.
Yep. Yeah, we're going to actually see that a lot. So there we go. I didn't get any emails, so I can immediately go into episode 2-2. And we need to get chromatized state again to really take down this boss. Fortunately, your tech person, who is again Furry, the panda guy, is always a fan favorite. So if the techie person attacks an enemy, then you always get a huge boost of fans watching the show right at that moment. So we're going to attack an enemy, and hopefully he will actually, defeat the enemy.
They get the fans that we need.
And we'll get the fans that we need. Yes, we got exactly the number of fans we needed to get chromatized. I'm going to try to do a glitch here. I think I got it.
Let's see if you did. If you did, we'll explain it. If not, we'll explain it. Don't worry.
Yeah, I didn't get it, but it's all fine.
So what you're trying to do is to skip animation on that, I believe?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so who's this giant red dude in the middle of the street? What's his evil plan for the world?
He just wants to. He's an evil businessman who wants to, take over the world.
Isn't evil businessman kind of redundant in show business?
Well, now it's a mech battle. So, like other children's shows, they had giant mech battles and like all this other stuff. You can see the camera crew there. This is great. But this little mech, this is actually more of a timed battle as well. You can continue punches if you time it right, which Cosmic is doing. And Cosmic is also failing to defend because there's no danger for this battle.
Yeah.
And it's quicker just to take it.
Yeah. I'm also doing all of that while let's see, I'm going to skip that audience report because I would lose money. So I don't actually want to do that. So I need to go to the green team here and hire them for one episode and spam on the social network. And so there is a glitch in this game that... so the way the game works is how much money you make per episode is you have to pay studio fees, and every enemy you defeat drops a certain amount of money. So if you don't defeat a lot of enemies, you will fail to make money.
Yes.
You'll actually lose money because you won't cover the studio fee. So this is... Oh, wow. I got...
Ooh. You got some polyester.
Yeah, I got polyester and leather, so that is a really good drop. And I do want to defeat at least four enemies here just at the beginning, just in case. Oh, okay, I got duct tape too. That's good.
Yeah, you're getting good material drops right now. Also, yeah. So why are we punching construction workers?
Because they're zombies.
How do we know they're zombies?
They're biting us.
How do we know they're zombies? Yeah, the thing is, like, we're skipping over a lot of the dialogue. You can see the fast forward in the corner. Legitimately, when I watched my friend play through this game casually, this game is just a right laugh. There's a lot of cheesy moments. There's a lot of goofy lines. It's worth just going through it.
As it would probably be expected of anything that's paying homage to Power Rangers, Tokusentai, you know.
Yeah.
So real quick, I actually got a $72 donation here from Seed System. It says, 2 bid wars finished. Greetings von Germensch. And that is an allusion to, we actually have a German and a Japanese restream going on right now. So if you're interested in those, there's twitch.tv/Germensch, GERMENCH, for the German restream, and then twitch.tv/Japanese_restream. I actually have the Japanese restream chat open, and they're having some fun with this run.
Well, also, big thank you to everyone who's been working behind the scenes and stuff like that, and doing the restreams. Like, it's always amazing work putting on a marathon, and everyone's doing a great job. And yeah, also hello to the restreams.
Yeah.
But
Guten Tag and America kara konnichiwa. Konbanwa, minasan.
That.
Yeah.
I'll piggyback off Ghost's actual pronunciations and language. So the thing is, so why are you getting ambushed by all the zombies now after you took out the first 4?
So the only reason I took so this episode here, what basically happens is all of the weapons and items you build in the game are basically cosplay materials that you construct from other things. So I needed polyester and duct tape to drop from some enemies. So I defeated enemies until I got those items. And that's actually why I've got the advertising agency before this episode 2 to increase item drop rate. And now that I've got duct tape and polyester, I don't actually need to do anything else in this episode. So I'm just letting them... so I just grouped all my characters together, because once they're close together, they actually heal a little bit per turn. To just make sure that everybody's going to survive, and then, I could just wait out the rest of this episode.
And it's faster to wait it out than it is to fight them and counter it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this 2-3?
Yes.
Okay, so it says on my notes here, you have to answer a certain email before season 3.
Yeah. Which it hasn't appeared yet. But That is another fun random piece of this game is that you will get emails from fans randomly throughout the game, and you need to respond to each one particularly. Some of them need to be responded to exactly right, or otherwise it changes the story beat. Other ones, it doesn't matter what you answer. So, we're just going to. We'll see what emails I get at the end of this episode. But yeah, you can see I got a lot of polyester and duct tape. That's exactly what I wanted. And because, I actually did the director's objective of defeat 4 enemies in a single turn, I actually made money in that episode as well. So here we go. This is the email that I wanted to get quickly. That is not spam. Please consider reading. That
Totally
is
legit.
Yeah, it is an email for the storyline that we need to respond. Yes, please, for free, sure. And that is time to go to the next episode. There we go. So yeah, basically that will put certain storyline actions in motion that will get me on the right route for the game. Because there are 3 different branching storylines that this game could take, and we're going to be taking the writer route, which is way faster than all the other ones. So,
which we'll touch on eventually on why that is as well when it gets to that route.
Yeah, but I wanted to make sure to respond to that email correctly to go on the correct route.
So why are we beating up air conditioning here?
So this is the first episode story-wise that we find out that it's much more than just a silly TV show, that not all of the monsters appearing in this world that we're taking out for our TV show are just random extras we've hired. There seem to be some actual honest-to-goodness monsters appearing out of portals. So we're shutting off those portals right now. And,
I'm just amused at the fact that you can just punch a portal to death.
Yeah.
Like, you think the portal would do its job and, just let your hand go through it. No.
Yeah. So here we go. I skipped the results screen of that episode so that I didn't actually lose any money on it.
Yeah.
Because that is an episode where we obviously didn't defeat any enemies whatsoever. But by skipping the results screen, the game gets confused and doesn't actually take any money away from you.
Which is a bit of a credit, or what were we calling it? Like a tax scam, basically.
Yeah. Let's see. I want to switch to assault here, and I want to go up here, and I want to chromatize. Oh no, he moved too far away.
So what Cosmic was trying to do there is when you chromatize, obviously your group comes around you and tries to do the traditional pose and everything. So you can get a free movement by using chromatize and drawing your allies closer to you by doing that.
Yeah.
And there's that lasso. What is that lasso? What does it do?
So Ego Lasso will I can't actually attack him. What Ego Lasso will do is it will draw enemies close to you. So I've got an extra turn here because I wanted to get this guy out immediately, but he decided to walk away, sadly. But the Ego Lasso will draw any enemy but right that you can lasso in beside the lead actor. And it is incredibly useful because you can even do that to bosses. So basically what we're going to do a lot is use chromatize to force all the actors together in a certain spot, and then lasso the boss to us, and then the boss is just beside all 5 actors at once, and we can kind of wail on them immediately.
And the other thing to take note as well is it's a free action.
Yeah, it's a free action.
Which Cosmic will be exploring quite a bit eventually for how many free actions are. And also, you can see now Cosmic moving once and then moving a second time. This is because Cosmic is not taking an action to attack here. And you get basically 2 movements if that's the case. Is that correct?
Yep. Yeah, every character has 2 actions. One action is a move, one action could be an attack. It can technically be an attack and then a special attack. Or it can be 2 movement. This boss here is on the far side of the screen, so we're going to use 2 movement to get to the boss quickly with our 3 most powerful characters, which are Scout, Lead, and Assault. And because Techie and Assist do such little damage, we're just going to leave them behind at the beginning.
It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Oh, so we have a character who's Charm now. So that kind of is annoying. I think Yellow's the one you want Charmed, I believe, right?
Yeah. Yellow is the Scout, and we want him Charmed because of his increased mobility. Instead of being charmed for 3 turns, he'll only be charmed for 1 turn. And he's already close to the boss as it is because he has increased mobility over all of the other characters. So, yeah. We'll just hope that...
I love that fish lady. That's such a good sprite. See here, Cosmic setting up teamwork and stuff like that, and going to be doing damage.
Yeah, so I'm going to use 3 special attacks at once on the boss, and that defeats the boss in a single turn. And now giant mech battle against Fish Lady.
Yeah. Which, honestly, to me, is the true mermaid.
Makes more sense that way.
Yeah, it does. Also, the fact that it's the same city outline is always great to me. Also, I see that one of the donation incentives is taking the stairs in Final Fantasy VII Integrate. I want to see that birthday to the run, please. Think of the cardio.
Oh yeah, we were talking about this in Lost Odyssey, but yeah, Barrett skips leg day.
Yeah,
he needs to get working on that.
Yeah, everyone, please think of Barrett when you donate and get.
I mean, he's unironically the best character in Final Fantasy VII. Don't at me. Yeah, so that's currently sitting at 375 out of 400, so we're 25 away from that.
Mm-hmm.
So that was season 2. We finished filming it, and I've got a bunch of emails here. It looks like I need to pick. I got 4. Let's see. Yeah, but I can immediately now go into season 3, episode 1.
So this is where on my notes it says that this is going to be a bit of a stally fight.
Yeah. The first phase is not too stally, but the second phase is incredibly stally.
Yeah.
So
to make do with this, Ghost is going to do an entire improv scene for us. Take it away, Ghost. Yes, I'm talking now. It's this is honestly.
Okay, I was gonna call you I was just gonna spend the next 5 minutes on a long diatribe about how much you suck. If anyone is unfamiliar with my ragging on Shawnee, I am completely being a mean and terrible host. And also, Shawnee's a good friend, so it's all good fun. I'm just teasing.
This is honestly standard when it comes to like board games and Ghost Discord, truthfully.
Yeah.
But honestly, no, I was gonna say is this when it comes to like this entire thing, you'll see here Cosmic is just gonna. This is probably gonna be the longest mission in the run for the most part, apart from like some really like 10 turns, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this first set of turrets should have went way differently, but we had some issues with enemies not dying due to bad damage rolls. So I am doing, I'm kind of just doing my own thing here at the moment.
Just trying to clean up or backup strat kind of thing.
Yeah.
So the one thing which I have a question of is when it comes to, or I guess not I have a question of, but I guess we should, for anyone who's watching, is obviously there's a lot of things where you can just one-shot the boss, like we saw with previous ones. Are those ever in danger of not working when you set it up right? Or like how much of the damage roll can go right and wrong in those types of attacks?
It can go wrong, and if it goes wrong, then it's an incredible pain. And I cannot believe that this guy has dodged. He has managed to dodge 3 attacks so far. So I've just got one enemy running around, doing absolutely nothing. There he
You just shin kick him to get rid of him. This is great. Okay, so this boss in particular, this is where it gets really annoying.
Well, right now it's not too bad because this is the first time we fight
Right.
him. The first time we fight him, it's pretty scripted, no issues. I just, I'm just going to get a few people around him here and do a nice teamwork attack on him. And yeah.
And you fulfill the director's objectives too.
Yep.
Now, this is I see a question in the chat. Is this a Power Rangers game? No, this is inspired by the Power Rangers, but it's a very fun little tactical RPG game.
Yeah.
So,
And-
I don't know if you touched on this. Why is it a Legacy Edition? I take it there's a more recent patch that patched out some of the strats?
So the most recent, one thing that you saw in the mech fights was that they were going incredibly fast. You can actually fast forward through the mech fights in the old version of the game. In the new version of the game, they actually make you play the mech fights at the correct speed.
Boo.
So yeah, it's not exactly near as much fun. So all the same strats and all the same glitches still work in the new version of the game. You just can't fast forward through the fights. So
It's just slower.
yeah, I think it ends up like saving like 15 minutes. So,
Yeah, and the thing is, you saw Cosmic doing the timing hits and like just taking the damage. Like, it's not gonna make a difference if it was real speed or fast forwarded kind of thing. So really, it's like if you want to just have a nice fast run, the Legacy Edition is the one that obviously is a more ideal one. Also, I have always been adoring every like blue Power Ranger and stuff, so it's always nice to see Blue just whipping out the guns and just taking out groups of enemies. I love it. Yeah, chat, while we're here, what's your favorite color Power Ranger? What flavor?
I definitely gotta say I cheer for the Black Ranger, if only because of my nostalgia for Johnny Young Bosch.
I've always been a fan of blue and science and stuff, so.
I never actually watched Power Rangers as a kid, so I'm not sure what to respond.
What?
It's like Chroma Squad.
That's the most Shawnee thing you could have said. I do award you points for that one.
I'm still the negative.
You have descended so far into the negative. You've reached a new state of number.
It's called Prime.
No, it's more like imaginary numbers. It's the next thing below that.
Transcendental, isn't it?
Sure. It doesn't have a name yet. It's something in Greek.
Yeah, if you're talking about stuff like pi and like square root of 2 and stuff like that, I believe they're transcendental numbers.
We got $20 from Geister Carl. It just says, "Never heard of Chroma Squad. Looks funnily silly. Thanks to all the people involved in this year's quest for glory. May the RNG be with you." Thank you very much, Geister Carl.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, very much.
And do please keep those donations coming. I'd like to hit 10,000 before we hit the 48-hour mark, which I believe we're at about 41 hours right now. I might be a little underselling it, but
I think we started at 10. My time is going on 8 right now. So it sounds about right.
2 hours from now. We can do it, especially with Final Fantasy VII coming up soon. We still got a couple of incentives to go for that one.
I would love all the incentives to get met for that. All incentives in general.
Yep, still got the staircase. And we also have the language bid war. I haven't touched on that one. But English is currently in the lead at just $22, with French at 15 and Japanese at 0. I don't know about you, but I want to hear that game in French.
Yeah, I that's actually, yeah, I definitely want that.
A very multicultural thing here. I mean, it's fitting for this game, considering this is a Brazilian game paying an homage to a Japanese franchise for an American American-driven marathon with an American host, run by a guy in Ecuador, commentated by a Canadian, and restreamed by a German.
With our powers combined, we can make you laugh, hopefully.
Yeah, I need 3 episodes of these guys, and it's just
Who's
available.
we? Johnny was never invited. He just tagged along and we deal with him.
Fair point.
So here we go. We're finally season 3, episode 2. Season 3 opener was quite a long episode.
Mhm.
But this is going to be one of my favorite episodes because the boss of this episode is just standing right here.
Which is a great strategy, by the way.
Yeah, he's kind of right here, and we can just attack him with all 5 people at once.
And director's instructions complete. I love the muscular pigeon. I love it. All the boss designs are absolutely great. But like, look at that flexing pigeon.
Yep. And this is the second boss of this episode, and we also defeated we got the director's instructions here as well. So we're now going to be rolling in money thanks to the past few episodes of actually
Doing well.
doing what the director told us to do, which is really important for the run. Actually, we do actually need quite a bit of money for later parts of the run, so so that helped quite a bit.
If I recall correctly, the money is relatively tight to like mid-season 3 or something. Like it's like a 3-4 is when you start not having to worry about money at this point, I think.
It's basically going to be right after this episode. I need to go on a shopping spree.
Yeah, and then I think after that you're relatively good for just kind of sailing through and getting like the bare minimum ratings and stuff.
So, but thankfully those past 2 episodes didn't require us actually to defeat a set amount of enemies. It was just like keep your health high enough and defeat the boss with X character. And
We have a cameo character.
Yeah. So this is a fun thing in the game where occasionally random cameo. I did not. I'm going to have to do a backup strat here. I'm going to attack with the cameo character here. Hopefully this will defeat this.
Mathematical axe.
Thank goodness. Okay. So what I needed to do was get in a state where I could chromatize, and I was hoping that I was hoping that I could. Let's see, it is up here. Yeah. And I was hoping that I could do that by
Having Yellow take out that enemy, right?
but Yellow did not take out that enemy. And I accidentally moved 1 spot away, so I'm going to have to do backup strat here, it appears. But I can at least attack with you. Yep. And I can attack with you. Yeah. So boss is nearly gone. But I accidentally clicked on the wrong square, so the lead didn't get in the position I wanted, so the lead couldn't actually attack the boss.
Yeah, so the thing is we have to mention as well, like this game is routed out pretty exactly.
Yeah.
So like damage rolls going bad or just moving 1 odd space can make a big difference. Thankfully, it's not too much of a time loss. Oh no, not mathematical axe guy. No.
But thankfully, I could use a free action of Lightning Dagger.
Yeah.
And,
Give it his just desserts.
yeah.
So you can't see
There we
my face on the webcam. I'm making this worst grin possible because I know Ghost is cringing about that.
No, I'm perfectly fine here.
Really? For the giant cupcake, huh?
I'm not giving you the satisfaction, Shawnee.
Yeah.
Yet.
So I went to try to do some crafting here. Let's see. Okay, you deserve it. Yeah, I need to answer. Okay, you deserve it to that email too. Okay. Oh, I've already got. So I've got 2 cardboard boxes.
Yeah, the upgrade materials are always great.
So yeah, crafting is basically. Let's see. What do I need for the speedy? I need the speedy. I just need
Duct tape?
tape.
Yeah.
I just need duct tape. So I can craft the speedy, and I want the speedy to go to Techie because that will increase his movement. And I'm going to craft another one, I believe. And I need to go back to the mech here and see what I'm missing.
This is the only time the mech will be upgraded in the run as well.
So I need another duct tape, and I need another. Okay, I need 2 more duct tapes and a wood board. So let's see. A wood board I don't have, so I'm going to need to buy a cardboard pack. Let's hope it comes out good. Okay, 5 cardboards, that works. I need a duct tape pack. There we go. So I'm going to craft a wood board and another duct tape, and that should be enough. To get
I
my
think that
board.
is. I think you just kind of.
Yeah. Oh, I need.
Oh, you need
another
one more. Okay.
Yeah.
This is why the material drops in like 2, 3, and like hiring the agency for the one battle really can pay off. This should be enough because no matter what, you can turn the duct tape into what you need as well.
Yeah. Which is basically why we needed so much money.
Yeah, but I think after this, you're fine for the money route, right?
Yes. However, yep, that is all. Yep, that is all good. I am ready to go.
Cool.
So yeah, basically what I did was I upgraded the mech so we'll have more attacks and better health, and I made an item called the Speedy and equipped it to Techie, which will greatly increase his movement, which is incredibly handy. Because Techie has, this incredible ability to, like...
Mow down everyone.
Although, I got really bad damage rolls. there, so,
Yeah, wow.
nothing went down.
Yeah, that was okay. That shows the damage rolls because I remember asking Cosmic about this, and it's like you thought it was like plus or minus 5% off a base value or something.
Yeah.
So
Not
like,
sure what it exactly is, but that was that was quite a bad damage roll.
mm-hmm. Also, you just can't spam your weapons as well. Like I think they have a cooldown too on them, right?
Yep, they do have a cooldown, and I can't believe that guy dodged. There we go.
Let's ignore the fact that you're fighting in like a 15-meter squared elevator. Oh, destroy one antenna. Can you do it? GG.
So we're going to really use the Ego Lasso here right now.
Mhm.
So the Ego Lasso is the power up that our lead has that we can actually grab the boss and just pull them wherever we want.
Oh, Lightning Dagger being a free action. You're gonna see that a lot too.
Yeah, that will get. Oh, I want to move here. Yeah, there we go. And I want to attack with these three, and boom! Yeah, there's the boss. That's boss down.
It's a lot of damage. So who's that?
Just random guy that joins in this episode who tells TV to go away, and the TV goes away.
He's truly overpowered.
Yeah.
To the
So now
point
we
where
have
he's clearly named.
Yeah. So now we have to fight the TV in mech battle style. So
Did you need to upgrade the mech for this battle as well, for damage-wise, or would you be able to pull it off without the upgrades?
you'd be able to pull it off, but it helps a ton to have these upgrades. Although it looks like my mech is missing a part, and I don't know how.
I thought you upgraded all of them.
Yeah. I want to double check that real quick.
I love the tweets coming in from fans. Some of them are not as nice as you might think as well. It looks like they're all right to me.
So it's like Twitter on real life.
Yep.
You try to do nice things, and somebody comes up in your mentions and just says the worst.
I said I was
thing you've
sorry,
ever heard.
Ghost.
Look, Shawnee.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Just because you can delete your tweets doesn't mean that they didn't hurt.
I tagged Ghost in the tweet recently. It's great. Anyway, I won't mention other than that. Anyway, so yeah, again, like the emails, how many are explicit for the ending you're going for?
Just the one, but
Just that one in before chapter 3?
Yeah, but if you don't, but some of them, if depending on how you respond to them, will actually cost you quite a bit of money. So, like there's only one that's really specific for the storyline route we want, but responding to them wrong can waste a bit of money. So yeah, this is an easy enough episode where we just need to survive a few turns here at the beginning. I'm not sure what on earth I did with the... I'm not sure I can get back what I need to get for the mech, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. I'll just have to see that later, but for now we're alright.
So this would be a good time for any plugs or donations, Ghost, if you want to go for it.
Perfect. I actually got a couple of donations in. I got $50 from Ragnar Alvar, our Lost Odyssey runner. Just donates the 50 that he said as promised during the Lost Odyssey runs. Here's the $50 due to the couple of bad gambles I got. Thanks again for having me, and here's to many more awesome runs until the weekend. Keep up the good work, everybody. Thank you very much. And with that, we did manage to get to that $400 threshold, so we will be going up the stairs in Final Fantasy VII Remake. For anyone familiar with the original game but not the remake, in the original game there's like a choice between doing a bunch of fights and going up the stairs. In the remake, in the original it was actually faster to go up the stairs. In the remake, they slow it down, and there's a lot of extra silliness that goes on when you go up the stairs. It's a time loss of several minutes, but it is well worth it. We also have $10 from Racodactylus with no comment, but thank you very much for your donation. And I'd just like to remind everyone why we're here. We are raising money for NAMI, National Alliance on Mental Illness, the largest grassroots mental health organization, and they focus on 3 main pillars of mental health, that being education and support, awareness, and advocacy. They advocate They engage in federal advocacy and support state organizations in their state level advocacy efforts. And they operate in all 48 U.S. states and have more than 650 affiliates, offering a host of signature programs, presentations, and support groups that are available free of charge. They also operate a national helpline, which is available Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time, that provides information, referrals, resources, as well as a compassionate and understanding trained volunteer to support the caller. You can find them online at Nami Communicate on Twitter, at Nami on Facebook, at Nami Communicate on Instagram, and at their website at nami.org.
Let me see if I've done people. So this boss fight is going incredibly poorly.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've never seen this many of them.
I am so this boss managed to dodge multiple attacks, and he's just alive thanks to that. He's still alive, and I'm going to try to shoot him with the bow for a third time. He's dodged the bow 3 times. I have never seen this.
So this is marathon luck in a nutshell. Yeah, the thing is, like, again, this is where one thing can go back. Like, when we're watching Cosmyk's run and taking notes for commentary and stuff like that, I have never seen this fight go this long.
Yeah, so that boss fight was supposed to end in the first turn, but I got a low damage roll. So I tried to then clean up the boss fight with a extra attack with the bow, and that attack then missed, and that bow attack to clean up the boss missed 3 times. So yeah, that was not the way that was meant to go, but you know, whatever.
Yeah, the thing is with Studio has duplicated himself. Yeah, pretty much. You can see here, like, the mech battle, like, you can see the HP value difference. Cosmyk's still really in no danger of losing these mech battles.
Yeah.
But, like, at the same time, if you want to play the non-legacy edition, just kind of slow it down by 3 times, and that's the general gist of things for if you want to save time or not.
Yeah. And here we go. We're going into the season finale here of season 3. Thankfully. Now this is where RNG, even though the last boss fight really decided to be an issue with RNG, this boss really can be quite an RNG nightmare.
Do you want me to take over while you focus?
Sure.
All right. So what this is going to happen is, this looks all very standard right now. You eagle lasso, draw on the boss, do whatever. And you join up, do damage. Like, this is going to be a normal first turn kind of thing. After this, Cosmyk is going to have a very tough time, if RNG does not go his way, to actually keep this boss around, because he's going to spawn all these little minions that are going to keep exploding. And they like to shove. And they're very good at shoving your characters around and moving them around. And you see that Blue is going back about, I think, 7 spaces to do extra damage with the pistol eventually. So, I think he had that power now, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So then everyone here is going to be doing damage. Blue having the sniper ability that he got as a skill tree. That was an unlucky dodge, I believe.
Yeah, incredibly unlucky.
And now you're going to see, like, not only are they shoved across the entire map now, these ones can explode and shove you as well. And it's just going to be a very fun time. And it grew through a bridge, which I don't think... Alright. That's beside the point.
Yeah, but this boss shouldn't have been alive. So I'm going to need to do a few extra attacks here to hopefully take him out. I think Techie missed his shot.
Yeah, I think he did.
So that means I can. Oh, well, no, I can't. I accidentally got the wrong space. Yeah, this is. Yeah, I'm just going to have to do some standard attacks here and hope that he doesn't go too far.
Yeah, because again, you see these explosions happening, and what happened to Pink. It's nothing like a boss who could shove you and have everything go away, and you can't encounter the range, and they keep spawning more and more things.
Yeah. I might be able to get close with Techie and get another shot in. I'm hoping. Yeah. Hopefully this will work. Didn't actually take him out though.
Damage rolls pretty bad there, yeah.
So this is. Yeah, the Assault still has an extra action to use, but they're so far away, so it's like not worth trying. Yeah, this boss fight's basically just designed to push you all around and drive you nuts with how far you get pushed around.
Mm-hmm.
But
It's also a big waste of time for all the sprouts to be happening. That's the main thing too.
Yeah. So yeah, we really want this to go quickly. And now we also went into defense mode, so I can't actually even
Damage him this turn, or
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. But what I can do is at least get everybody closer to him, I believe. And hopefully everybody will just be close around. Which is, better than nothing.
The dodges this run are plentiful.
Yeah. More than plentiful.
Mm-hmm. So who has their attack still?
Assault. So hopefully Assault won't get pushed too far away now.
That's good.
Yeah.
He's staying close by this time.
Come on. There we go.
That can be done on the first turn, right?
Yeah. But the bad damage rolls and the dodges prevented that, so...
Also, I love how there's apparently an actor in this mech suit, but it gets pieced together foot or legs upwards when it comes into battle, showing that there's basically no one inside of it.
So... Yeah,
That is the most technically difficult boss battle that can go wrong, right, in this run?
Yep. Now it's thankfully pretty easy,
Mm-hmm.
but... It's just get to the end of this episode, basically. Which is this episode here is just storyline. So what we responded to earlier with the email that was, what spam please consider reading, was this alien from outer space named Lord Gaga, who said, I can give you an antenna that will boost your TV ratings. And we said, sure.
Because science.
Yeah, and he's actually an alien that was using the our TV station antenna to warp in his army from another dimension.
Which technically is a bigger audience.
Yeah, it
So
is
he
bigger
did really
audience.
high. But this is not the season finale yet, right? Or
No, this is the season finale.
Okay,
This
yeah.
is the part.
right, yeah, because this is the second plant fight. That's right.
Yeah.
those dodges, like
I am really shocked about how many dodges I am getting. This is something and a half.
I personally blame Ghost.
Yeah.
Hey, leave me out of this.
Hey,
You could skip this final cutscene, but like 1 out of 10 times it will soft lock the game. And I'm just,
with the luck right now.
with the way things are going now, I'm not I don't exactly feel like pushing my luck. I think I can do it now though. There we go. Yeah. So at least I have to see the end part of the cutscene.
So we got a lot of money there.
Thank goodness.
So next we're on to season 4. So that means is this when you have to do the shopping trip and assign things right now?
Yeah, we need to change some specials around here. So I'm going to get a really handy special equipped on Assault, which is called which is called Trample. It is a free action, meaning that you can do something else after it, and it is a movement and attack at the same time. So, yeah, we're going to. There's the change sword. There we go. We're going to make good use of that. It's a pretty handy tool to have because we'll basically be able to use Trample to run up towards a boss, do damage as we run through the boss, and then attack them as soon as we're on the other side of the boss a second time for a little bit of extra damage. It's a pretty handy thing to have.
Yeah, Trample is you'll see how starting now as well, like the combination in the free actions. Wow, yellow. That's okay.
I and a low damage roll on top of that. This is
As far as I know, you've been equipping everything appropriately and stuff like that. So this is just the game wanting to have a little extra notice this marathon, apparently.
Yep, it would seem that way.
Also, I do love how corny it is that I'm gonna stop talking while you're there you go, attacking. I do love how corny it is that you're picking up like fiberglass and like Play-Doh and other things for crafting materials, because it's a low budget show.
Yep.
So why are these people trapped in pumpkins?
Because he's the pumpkin man. He attaches people in pumpkins.
Name checks out.
Because Halloween's extended 2 weeks this year. Gotta compete with the encroaching Christmas.
So I'm going to use
Thanksgiving first.
So I'm going to use Join Up, which forces everybody close to the lead. Then I'm going to use Ego Lasso to pull the boss in nice and close. Then I'm going to use Trample to, get behind the boss and trample over them. And then I'm going to use Find Weakness with Techie on the boss here. And we're going to now we're going to attack him with 4 people at once. And he somehow survived. He usually does
wow! Everything went right, and then that still did kill a boss. That's amazing at this point. Like, this is actually amazing.
I don't know. I have never had this bad of RNG. Besides, the drops were fine.
The drops were good, yeah.
Yeah, but these damage rolls are
There's
turning into
fierce.
something else. Yeah. Okay, so you missed. That's why. There we go.
Also, it keeps saying defeat the boss with the finishing move. That's normally like a group chromatized action. It's not gonna. I think we only see it once in the run, I believe.
Yeah.
So, but otherwise, we're not gonna listen to the director on that one. It takes a lot of time for the animation to play out.
Yeah. It's not worth it. I did not mean to hit defend there.
So pumpkins don't normally have kind of grass on their heads, so I'm kind of wondering how that works. But
I'll just go with it.
I question the reality that's happening right now in this game. I want my Power Ranger-like shows to be 100% realistic with aliens. Thank you.
Yeah. So this episode, I don't want to. I would actually lose money on this one, so we're going to skip that audience report and not deal with it.
Yeah, we did a bad job. Don't tell us.
And I was supposed to preview on a major blog to get more people watching the show, and I forgot to do that. So now I'm not going to have chromatize right at the start, I don't think. No, I'm not. This is going to... Let's see, how do I do this? I'm going to take... Simon, could you take out this guy, please? No, you did not do it. Okay. This is... Yeah, so I'm really... I can't believe I forgot to do that, but...
Can you leave the episode, do that, and redo the episode?
I bet at this point I think it would probably... waste time.
Hmm.
So I'm just going to do some extra attacks. It might not have wasted time, but...
You should have Chroma Squad, or Chromatize by the next turn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I do love the flavor text of the enemies sometimes say and talk, and like the characters. Hey, you got a dodge. Good job. Not just the enemies.
No, I do not have Chromatize yet. This is...
Oh dear.
Okay, I finally have it. So I'm going to go up here. Chromatize. That boss should not go anywhere. Ego lasso him close. There we go. Now we're going to trample,
Which is a free move.
which free move. Oh boy.
Oh, you moved one too far away?
Apparently. But it's supposed to be 7 away. So, yeah. Fun. Okay. But that wasn't 7 tiles. I don't know what's going on. That happened last fight too. Which I've had the game glitch out before with what it considers tiles and what it doesn't consider. So I'm wondering if that's what's going on, but yeah, my attack's supposed to be 7 tiles away. From 7 tiles, and it's like, I'm like 5 tiles away and it doesn't count for whatever reason. So I don't know why. This is fun.
Are you able to check your equipment to make sure things are assigned properly?
It's the beginning. It's the beginning item. With
Oh, okay.
He never changes equipment.
That's very unusual then.
Yeah.
It's a lot of punches to the mouth right now.
Yep. So I don't know what else to say about that, but
I can make a jawbreaker comment.
Fighting a giant mouth. I'm pretty sure nothing needs to be said.
Well, it can't anymore. The mouth is destroyed.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I meant.
That's the joke. Also, I love this boss so much.
yeah,
Not this
so-
one. The actual boss, not the weird iPod thing.
yeah, the
This
weird
is a game
iPod.
from 2015. Why are they using 2006 technology? It's funnier than it should be.
It's
It's even
out of
got the
date.
It's even got the charging battery icon for charging up attacks. That's funny.
All the sprite work is really impressive in this game. They really did their,
Really
their
is.
homework. Like, oh, you also see here on the side there, there's like a decreasing amount of accuracy per hit. You can theoretically keep hitting, but it went from like 84 to 74 and stuff like that. And it keeps going down. There's my favorite boss, Wacky Inflatable Tube Man with teeth.
I keep waving floating on floating tube man.
Look at him, he's so happy.
But you know, he's almost gone.
I know. Like this entire segment is just basically mech battles.
Yep.
The TV apparently is running out of ideas or something, and it's like same scene, same whatever. Grab whatever parking lot that you can grab.
They don't resort to mech battles when they run out of ideas. They resort to like high school shenanigans. You know, stuff that doesn't cost as much to produce.
Have you seen a high school set yet, though?
I'm just talking about in general.
I do actually want to see the results of this episode because we did make a lot of money by doing a bunch of mech battles.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to respond to emails. And I want to say, Furry told me to say hi there, and I want to, let's see, I want to do a little bit of shopping. Here,
Yeah.
I want to buy the Lookie Spear. Where's the Lookie Spear for the lead? There we go. And I need to change some actors' skills. I need to go back to multi-shot here, and I need to hire marketing. I want to hire the conductors of the hype train for 3 episodes to do the teaser trailer. So this part of the story is now we've continued to go through the game. We're in an episode where the lead actress has walked because she's annoyed with how little pay we were giving her compared to everybody else, which is kind of funny that, you know, the lead actress apparently was getting the least amount of money. And we just we just make sure to now do our best to let's see, Scout needs to move. Yeah, no, I was right. Scout needs to move. Let's see, it's 4-2. Yeah, I need to move Scout here.
Then you can use them to launch everyone, and
Yeah, and I can use multi-shot to take out 3.
you want to take out 3.
Yeah, we want to take out 3.
Yeah, but this run says no right now, apparently. This is amazingly bad luck. Like,
Yeah. It's incredible.
yeah, like when we were going through the VOD and like taking notes, like I think I only saw like 1 damage roll not go your way. I like the VOD we were watching.
This has been like literally every fight multiple
Yeah.
times.
So
this-
there you go. There's the RNG.
But hopefully the boss fight here will go correctly. It's a pretty easy one, thankfully. It's
Don't say that. I do love the teamwork option in this game too.
Yeah.
And tramples, obviously, just great for clearing off the enemy in front of the boss. Then you can set up and do. Well, there you go. That actually.
Yeah,
There
it
you go.
actually worked. There we go.
There you go. That was actually intended that time, unlike all the other ones where improv was needed.
Yeah, but I don't need that episode report, and that allows me to. Whenever you skip an audience report, and if you got enough money to not actually have to see the audience report, that means that since the game thinks you didn't actually fully finish the episode, that you won't get any emails. So
It saves
Which-
time.
yeah, so I was able to do that. So this boss fight will be a pretty simple one, hopefully.
At this point.
With I'm going to use the lead actress here. She's going to move 4 spaces, chromatize so that everybody gets nice in and close here. Everybody gets nice and comfy. Then we use Ego Lasso to pull the boss towards us. And we teamwork. Now we use Lightning Dagger to get
Free
extra
action.
attack. Free action. Now we use Trample, free action.
Yep.
And now we attack with 4 people. And the boss survived.
And we
But I've got
clean
a-
up with pink as intended 100% of the time. Unless she were to miss.
Well, technically, the boss isn't supposed to survive.
I know, but like,
But, it worked out.
yeah, the amount of free actions in this game is what makes a lot of the bosses doable in obviously like, turn 1 and stuff. But like, if I recall correctly, like these strats are only for the difficulty setting you're on, right?
Yeah.
Like after that, you're not going to be able to pull off this. And this game actually can get quite difficult, if I recall correctly, too.
Yeah.
There you go. It's the 94, 84, 74 going down. So that's... You can continue the attacks as long as you can keep hitting that percentage.
There we go. Yeah, I don't want to deal with this episode report either. So, and skip any emails that come in, and another boss fight here, which, yeah, this one's going to be fun. Basically, I just need to move into the exact right spot, chromatize, ego lasso the boss, and hopefully this boss will actually go down like it should. So yeah. Hey, lead, you are going to go here.
So everyone say hi to Phoenix. Just some random dude.
Yeah, he's just some random dude in the junkyard that's like, nobody's going to take over my junkyard. I'm like, well, thank you, mister.
We appreciate random civilian help. Since
Good
this
time
is
for
still-
donation.
Yeah, we do.
I've got quite a few coming in here. Got $50 from Rayman. No comment. I got $100 from our favorite Anonymous with no comment. Appreciate that. Another $8 from what I assume to be a different Anonymous with the same name. Just says wee wee. I have $5 from. There's a name on here. I can't quite make it out. It just says, "Notice me, Senpai, during the Super Sentai donation to Ghost Choice." I really wish I could see who sent that.
Uh-huh.
But in all seriousness, thank you for your donation. Thank you for your donation, Shawnee.
Yep.
That being you
I
there.
had to do the pun. Come on.
It's a good little rhyme. So as in just a update, we are currently we've met all Final Fantasy VII incentives as well as the Shadowrun incentive which
Awesome.
is the run coming afterwards. So the next incentive that has yet to be met is watching the credits in Super Mario RPG. You're definitely going to want to donate for that because those credits are super charming. So it's a great sequence, and while usually middle of the event runs of that game tend to cut them out, they're quite fun to watch. I quite like them. We do still have a naming file for that game, Bid War, as well as a language Bid War in Final Fantasy VII, which English is still ahead at $22, but it would just take $8 to put French ahead.
So I wanted to get a glitch here right at the beginning, but I did not get it. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of. This is going to make the next fight after this a little bit more difficult, but okay. I am stumped with these damage rules on multi-shot, but there is a there's a glitch that you can get the chromatize button to if you change characters on the right frame. The character will not actually chromatize, but they will still be considered chromatized. So you can still do extra actions.
Mm-hmm.
And what that will cause is that you can then chromatize a second time later and refresh all of your special attacks cooldowns. Because there are 2 boss fights in this season 4 finale, and we would like to not have to deal with cooldown between attacks. So, but unfortunately, we didn't actually get that. So we're just going to have to do this episode the backup way.
So you're just using teamwork here and stuff like that, right?
I do want to keep everybody alive, so I'm going to move around a little bit.
Just to get the HP bonus?
Yeah. Technically, I could let a bunch of these characters die, but just marathon safety, I don't want to...
At this point, don't mess with the marathon luck. Oh, so I do love the little squirrely evil guys. They're great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I do want to try to take out quite a few enemies right here if I can. But very few of them actually were defeated. Yeah. But we'll use that, and everybody's got more than enough health to survive.
Oh, they really like that one guy. There you go. Another one. It does make me wonder what's going on when it comes to the damage rolls, though.
Yeah, because I've never had it that bad.
Because it's consistently bad, and that makes me wonder what's going on.
Yeah, it's just being something else and a half. But at least if there's a bunch of enemies grouped around, if you can take out multiple enemies at once, then at least you don't have to see their animations again later. So
you see how many monsters are spawning.
They're probably going to take out Techie in the next few turns, which, considering everything that Techie has done to me in this run, I don't really...
Sacrifice him to the RNG gods.
And after that, we won't be seeing anyone for a very long time.
Mm-hmm. Because plot will happen.
Yeah, because plot.
Well, it's actually the email you answered back in Chapter 2, basically, before Season 3.
Yeah. And the order that we defeat the bosses in this episode here. So as we alluded to earlier, there are 3 different storyline beats that we can get through. Whenever we did the giant pumpkin head fight, one of the girls stuck in the pumpkins fell in love with Furry, the techie, and she decided to become a superhero as well. And you can see her down at the bottom of the screen because that didn't work out so well for her. She has become a zombie at the moment, and Lord Gaga has taken her over. So we are going to save her, but there are 3 different storyline paths on how you actually do this fight, and how you actually do the next series of attacks will, and how you actually attack our zombified Tammy here will give you different storylines. So one storyline that you could go down is that you save her from Lord Gaga here, and Lord Gaga just lets her go, and she joins your party. You can defeat her before even laying a finger on Lord Gaga, which will convince her that, you know what, I was never cut out for the superhero business. She, oh, that's what we're going to do here. And
Just encourage her.
we're basically trying to be like, hey, you're not. We don't think you're cut out for this. Sorry about this, but you really do need to just beat it on home. And
don't worry, she's still fine. 100% fine. Did not get completely murdered there.
But the fun thing about this is that here, let's see.
Oh, the stunning pose, yeah.
Yeah, he'll be stunned. He should not move. That's a little bit of a backup. Just a tad bit of a backup. Let's see. Did Simon have the bow? Yeah. No, we want to do a 4-way attack here. Yeah. So yeah, we just. So the fun thing about this storyline is that if you take her out like that, then the game's like, it takes you down a storyline where everyone else in your party gets sent into space, except for Assault. So we're now going to be in the storyline where Assault is going to just be the only character we control.
Which is good, except for one particular mission.
But it saves a lot of time in the speedrun since,
Best characters.
Yeah, there's less characters, less actions to go through. It's just one person. It leads to some really annoying fights at times, but
Assault honestly is well equipped to make sure that they can do the battles, but it definitely gets sketchy. I think 1 or 2 times. I have it here. I think 5-4 is the one I'm talking about in particular.
yeah. Let's see here. If I can get a few people around the boss to do a can assist getting close. Yes, assist can. And you 4 are going to attack. Okay. Yeah, if the glitched chromatized had worked earlier, I would have been able to use all my special chromatized attacks again earlier, without having to deal with cooldown. But as it is, we can still get through with just doing it this way. He's pretty close to being down. So, there we go. There's Lord Gaga down. And that is the end of Season 4, thankfully.
Yeah.
Let's So, go. The nightmare is finally over. Everybody gets to go home. And I do not want to glitch out the screen because I don't want to softlock.
There's a couple things that Cosmyk's doing right now. They're making sure that he doesn't screw up the menuing or like the. How many softlock instances are there? Like you had one where like didn't want to skip certain things. You wanted to watch a cutscene. There's a couple other small ones.
Yeah, there's quite a few of those, and I need to. So here, storyline beats, they actually haven't been shot into space yet, so I can actually still buy weapons for everybody. Let's see, barrier boots for assault, and light speed gloves for assault, and the cosmic cannon for assault. And I will need to change some skills around. I need to activate Techie's skill to find weakness, and I need assaults to martial arts master. Yes.
Yeah.
And there we go. That is next episode. So now all that's left of the studio is assault, and this guy named Kanjiabo walks in and is like, "Hey, why are you alone?"
And then a
she's
rhinoceros walks in.
yeah, and she's like, I'm all right. And we're like, okay, that's a little weird. So, we're going to do our best to just take out all these enemies here, which we sure did. And now, Assault being left on their own, Kanjiabo's like, since all the other actors have disappeared, I'm going to go ahead and help you. And we're like, sure. So we get to do a whole series of hurry up and wait where we just have to survive the X number of turns. And thankfully, it's not terribly difficult since we've only got 2 people to deal with here. And then we'll have a boss fight that is quite an annoyance. But Kanjiabo is a superhero known as the Driver. And he is incredibly powerful. And at the end of this episode, after fighting side by Assault, he gifts their powers to whoever your Assault is.
And then that's the final piece in your skills and stuff like that to really overpower a lot of bosses in the late game.
Yeah, because we've already seen a little bit where the trample is a free action where you just run forward and trample over enemies and not mess with an action. Yeah.
It's gonna get overpowered now.
The Assault will get a second free action that is called the Driver Kick.
Which looks amazing.
Yeah,
it's exactly what I want it to be.
Yeah, which basically means that she will be able to trample over a boss for a free action, the Driver Kick back over the boss a second time for a free action, and then do a normal attack at the end finally. So we can do a lot of damage to bosses now. As long as our poor RNG doesn't get any worse.
Don't worry, Techie's gone. At this point.
Back at the final episode, though.
Yeah, I know, but for now, there should be good RNG because Techie's gone.
Yeah. So here, we're going to attack this boss here. I'm going to trample over him to get a little bit of damage.
Hey, Mega makes me think of Starman from Earthbound.
No. Just.
No.
Everything in this game is completely original. Yeah, you can't help but look at that and just not see Starman there. It's great. You gonna do driver? Oh, driver kick is so good. Look at it. So excessive. Also, the other ability that, yeah, it's so good. Like there's.
That might be the greatest sprite animation I've ever seen, and I'm not kidding.
Yeah. You can see a lot from now on as well. But the other thing is, we're gonna see the use of the other ability now, right? Or no, not yet.
Not yet. The boss decided to be a little bit of a jerk and move a little too far away for us to do much of anything. I might use Time Gadget here to just make sure that he doesn't appear.
Time Gadget is extremely exploitable as well. It's great.
Yeah. Time Gadget is it's an action. It's a free action, and it warps all enemies back to whatever their position was at the beginning of the turn.
Yeah.
So he ended up not moving anyway, so it wouldn't have done anything. But we could do a teamwork here on him, and yeah.
There you go. Follow the director's orders.
Yeah.
Even if the director technically is the evil guy, I think.
Yeah.
So.
But after defeating the boss there, Kanjiabo, the driver, just dies. And we got his powers now.
That's how it works.
You consume him, and then you shall become him.
Well, we can't show that part. That's very, very graphic, but...
It's being metaphorical.
I'm not.
Oh boy.
No, the thing is, so now we have obviously the driver kick, we have the time power as well. And this isn't the survive one just yet, right?
This isn't the survive one, but we're going to see another ability that I just added to Assault. So I took out Assault's trample because with driver kick, it's technically just the same. And instead, I put in the cleave time power up, which is a passive ability that is incredibly overpowered if it decides to work. It is very random if it does activate or not. But if you defeat an enemy with cleave time activated, there is a chance that all adjacent enemies to that enemy that was defeated will also be defeated.
Which is a nice time save.
Yeah. So, but it's very random when it activates or doesn't. So,
I mean, at this point, we'll take whatever RNG save we can get.
Yeah, but you saw it did activate there. So when I countered an enemy and it took out quite a few enemies. And there you go. It worked again, thankfully. So, yeah, it's not the fastest, but it worked. So now we've got two bosses that we just need to defeat, and we're going to use all of our tools here at
Which
our
is
disposal.
good, looks so good, yeah.
Yeah. So first I added driver mode, which is a mode where you take much more damage, but you do much more damage yourself. I use Time Gadget so that Turtle Guy here will not move.
Well, if he does, you can revert him back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That does. Sorry, the stunning stance or whatever is the one that prevents them from moving. This one just reverts them back to everyone to where they were when you used it.
yeah. Yeah, so he tries to make us more vulnerable. He tries to get away, but
A lot of damage.
That was actually a crit Thank goodness.
Gonna say like, it should have been like a little bit alive than.
Yeah, he should have. It technically should have been a more turn fight, but I got a crit there, so thank goodness. That is the first time I think RNG has went our way.
We'll take it.
Got some time for some donations?
Sure.
Alrighty, I got 20. I got $5 from Tiny Tim. Says, "Hail, donating for the awesome Chroma Squad run. I never knew this game existed, and it's amazing. Good luck to Cosmic, and shoutouts to Mr. Toast Sandwich himself, Shawnee, and the always brilliant Ghost Kuma. Thank you, my friend. Been really enjoying the marathon so far, and it's amazing to see so much money being raised for Nami. Let's keep it up, all. Cheers."
Mm-hmm.
I have $25 from Estella Lumiris. Just says, "Hey everyone, I was formerly known as Wandering Mind, and this is the handle I go by now. I feel very strongly about the many things Nami has done and is doing. I attended group sessions organized by them a few years ago, which helped me get through some rather difficult times. It was because of Nami I began to better understand how depression and anxiety affected my life, and continues to do so, although I managed to get through it with the medications I take and the professional help I receive. Destigmatizing mental illness is so important. I want to take this time to mention a paste bin that the late Everhate wrote about dealing with schizophrenia. I learned so much about it through him and showed the power of speaking up from personal experiences to cast away preconceived notions that hurt those that these conditions affect. You may have never known me, but I miss his presence, and I will gladly forever blame Everhate. I was recently diagnosed with bipolar type 2, and while I wish I figured it out through a situation which remained peaceful, I took the opportunity to look inward when I was harassed by people who took things about me at face value. Through the professional help I sought, I figured out things about myself going back through the last 10 years, things that I found the answers to. Check up on people, see that they're okay. There may be more going on beyond the surface with them. I'll also take this time to plead to people, please seek help when you need it. There's only so much I can do through willpower alone, and it's okay to realize the limitations of it. My life isn't easy dealing with these various mental illnesses and conditions day to day. But then again, life in general isn't easy, but I'm not alone. And while I miss these in-person events, I'm very glad Questing for Glory is currently carrying the torch. So here's to a week of great RPG speedruns." Very well said.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very, very much, Estelaris. Thank you very much. You are such an amazing force on the speedrun community in general, and we just love you. So never forget that. Especially, doesn't matter what other people say. Okay, so this is now the episode where it's really donation or just tomfoolery time.
Yeah, this is. Let me check my notes. I wrote it down here. Survive hell.
Yeah.
That's what we just decided to call it during the note taking. It's 12 turns of survive, and you'll see that assault will go up against the wall to prevent a lot of damage, and just keep using teamwork.
Yeah. Basically, we still have Cleave Time activated, where that buff where adjacent enemies might be defeated whenever you defeat an enemy. But it's just 12 turns of survive, and it's kind of sad that this is, a thing of the run, but
it's there.
It's there.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we do have opportunities to hopefully take out large waves of enemies at once with like Square House Kick and whatnot. And Cleave Time might also coincidentally take out a large group of enemies just because they're all beside each other. But as long as I go up against the wall here, then nobody can actually, reach my back. And it's just survive.
We never did touch on that. If someone approaches you and hits you from the back, is that advantageous for them, or is it just a normal attack?
It's just a normal attack. There's no advantageous positioning in this game.
It's not like Final Fantasy Tactics, where it's a higher hit chance or something based off front back height differences or anything like that. So it's nice that way, because you can position them and not worry about being attacked for different damages and whatnot. Not much else to say really on.
Yeah, there's not very much else to say right here at the moment, but I guess we can go into storyline. You know, obviously
Mhm.
we started out filming just a Sentai TV show that was goofy and glorious, and it's become very clear that we need to save the world. And the only person left on Earth at the moment again is Assault, who is now the driver. Um, and everybody else, we got an email that said everybody else is fine. They're just somewhere in space. Not sure where in space, but
I'm just surprised that someone can email when no one else is on the planet.
yeah. But it turns out that all the other people have been captured by more of Lord Gaga's minions, and several of Lord Gaga's minions in the time that they took everybody else to space has come down to Earth and are tried to take over the world, but um, there's the driver sitting in their way.
Also,
Really,
I'd
right
lo-
now, sitting in their way because we're not doing anything besides sitting in place.
Technically, yeah. But I was gonna say, I love you can see the swarm of enemies all on the same tile on the bottom left, with the caravans down there. It's not a unique enemy sprite. There's just a lot of them there.
Yeah. I have there's an aggro line that once you get close to them, they all start moving. But I obviously haven't moved toward that
Mhm.
aggro line, so they just keep spawning on top of each other, and nothing happens.
Yeah, so it's great as long as you stay away from it. You're fine. You're not going to draw extra attention. But it does look like some super monster. It's just a bunch of them. But yeah, 12 turns of surviving. You can see with the right equipment and just not aggroing enemies, the abilities. That thank you.
Yeah.
You brought the PowerPoint presentation. I was going to explain that as well. Like you just clean up the enemies, and this is basically just survive. Try to get the enemies down as much as possible. Less enemy turns, less time for this one, and yeah,
Yep. Yeah, this is the final turn, thankfully.
yeah.
After this, it is a boss fight, but it's really brief. So
I meant to ask: does the police officer do anything in the bottom left there?
no.
Okay.
Which,
He's
I
watching
mean,
people just fire guns against a person against a wall. It's like, okay, yeah.
I mean, what would you be able to do realistically yourself? So you know.
Not use cardboard? I love that animation so much.
Yeah, it's a great animation. But then we just do a little square house kick.
Oh, and a
we got a
counter.
counter.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, that defeated the boss instantly.
And then they instantly defeat you by punching you in the face.
So that is now it's time to fight him a second time. So the same boss comes back and is like, "Ugh, you'll never beat me." And I'm like, yes,
Just
yes, I will, Mohawk. Which I feel like we have to shout out PJ. I am 99% sure that this boss is based on what was that SNES game?
Mohawk and headphone jack.
Yeah, because the boss is named Mohawk, and I mean, just look at him.
I'm actually unfamiliar what game you're talking about.
Good. It's
Good.
It's
Okay.
motion.
Thanks. Done.
it's motion sickness. The game.
Yeah, I'm unsure why they decided, base a boss on Mohawk from Mohawk and Headphone Jack, but more power to them.
It's always something that is amazing to me when people are developing games, what they decide to reference or do. It's whatever reason the game may have touched a chord with them. They're like, nah, we need to include us for like the 3 people in the world that know it,
Yeah.
enjoy the game.
We got a
I'm
little
gonna
bit of
assume-
time. Got a little bit of time for donation.
Sure.
Yeah, just clean
All
up
right,
battle.
we get $10 from Plush Mayhem that just says let's hit 10K. And as a quick reminder, there is a prize still till the end of this run for a gaming headset for Xbox One and Xbox Series X. Minimum $10 donation. We actually have a few new incentive or new prizes that open up with the start of this run, including a Final Fantasy VII Avalanche art print, a Shinra Company iron-on patch, and a neon poster that have $5 donations for this first two and $10 for the neon poster. Minimum donation. You can check those out. Hit ! prizes. There should be access to the tracker with a link to the image of what lets you preview what you could be winning, as well as more information.
So, yeah, let's see. Yeah, I'll make money this episode. This is fine.
So this next episode is going to be funny. I wanted to set up an autosave here just in case. But this episode here, it's a boss that sends out a bunch of illusions of himself,
Mm-hmm.
and you never know which is the correct boss. Except his starting position is always fixed. So we know where he is in the first turn. We know that the one in the corner is the correct one. So it's time to just driver kick into him and then attack him. And it's technically supposed to be random, you know, which is the real boss and which isn't, but it's always it's the first. He always is in that exact spot the very first turn, so
That went exactly as intended.
yeah. Yeah. And I need to now change back to getting rid of cleave time and getting trample again. Which means that I will now have trample and driver kick at the same time.
Yep.
So I can use both of those attacks in a single turn, which is slightly OP. Which we'll hopefully see why here shortly. So first we'll do a driver kick down to about here.
I love the motorcycle disappears, but it disappears during the attack. Then we do a
Then
trample.
So that takes out 3 of them, and these 2 guys should come close to us, screaming, "Challenge me!" But you
As
know
you do.
what? Yeah, but you know what? We still have a square house kick left over. So yeah, they really didn't stand that much of a chance.
But you did say the pickle jar.
Yeah.
Also, Kitty.
Yeah, Kitty. So this is finally another episode where you actually get to control more than one character. So Kitty here is a character that I would love to have in more episodes because they are incredibly strong. And we'll use driver kick and trample to take out a few enemies. Then we'll end our turn there. And Kitty here just goes around and casually. I think they're meant to look more like a piece of sushi, but
I think so, yeah. Especially
They're-
since his name is Kenijiri or whatever.
yeah. Let's see. We'll hope for a cleave time.
Awesome.
Yeah. Which technically is no longer active. I don't know why it still works sometimes.
We'll take it. We'll take it.
But, you know, there we go. So here's the boss of this episode. Season
bosses.
finale. All the bosses come out to play.
Cat's a person now.
Yeah. But even though all the bosses have come out to play, only the lead boss we need to defeat. If everybody else runs away as soon as you defeat this one, so yeah, we'll just kind of
And there we go.
we'll use up all of our free actions. And then, look here, all the rest of the team has reappeared. So for the final episode of the game, we'll have the whole team back. So let's see.
I kind of got wool of an alien sheep as a ingredient.
It's a nice ingredient.
Yeah.
Let's see. I've got a bunch of emails to respond to now.
Darn fans.
Even for the series finale, you still gotta tell the fans to shove it.
Yep.
So I've got to buy some things here. Let's see, interceptor helmet, assist, techie, lead, and elite boots. Where's the elite boots? For scout, lead, and assist. And then I want to... and then I just went to buy as many interceptor suits as possible. So how many interceptor suits?
I think you have enough for all of them, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really nice.
Yeah. The money route really paid off on this one. If nothing else worked this run, we got the money route.
Yeah. So here we go. This is the final episode, so we'll be coming up on time shortly.
Mm-hmm.
Which I have no idea what the time's like. I hope that my really generous estimate worked out because
You're
Wow,
going
so-
a little bit over,
I am.
Yeah,
just to spoil.
yeah, you're at 149.40 right now.
Oh dear.
Yeah, there's a lot of that went wrong in
Yeah,
the
you-
mid-game there.
You handled getting absolutely shafted. So
Also, look at Iron Man there. He's great. I love him.
that is some 1950s Iron Man.
Also, getting the mermaids back.
Yep.
To be fair, Cosmic, you were playing with like one eye for half the run.
And half the RNG. Or half the good RNG.
Oh, that's good.
Also, again, I love the motorcycle. I can't stress that enough. I love it every time it happens.
It is a pretty wonderful, attack.
It's like borderline Bollywood, man.
Yeah.
I could totally see some like medium budget production, like foreign production action film of somebody just spinning around on a motorcycle just to build up enough momentum to just jump kick somebody.
Yeah, we use Time Gadget here to make sure that one last dodge. Why not at this point? That you're going to be able to get the boss here back to his starting location next turn. So, that.
Yeah. Which technically, that was only a marathon safety maneuver, just in case he would have dodged.
Just now, boop.
Yeah, thank goodness I did that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I can.
I love the music here.
Yeah, it is pretty good.
The music in this game is just great in general. Oh, jeez!
That might be episode. No, the game has crashed.
Oh, God.
Wait, did you win?
No!
No.
Oh my!
No.
Ah, it seems.
Thankfully it does autosave quite a lot. But we're going to start that one again. That is... Wow.
So basically, what happened there was Assault was charmed so that they would attack the other enemies. I mean, the other characters. The boss dodged 2 times in a row, so he still survived. And the result of it was that whenever we went to the next turn, our good old Assault attacked the scout and took him out. and then cleave time activated,
Yeah, it took out the entire party.
defeated the rest of my team, which crashed the game. It did not know what to do. I have never seen that before.
There we go.
Oh, there's
Yep.
it took us till the end, but it happened.
Yeah, no, that was amazing to see Cleave Time really take out your own team.
Yeah, it took out the entire rest of my team.
Oh, hopefully,
That was something else.
yeah, that was great. Just everyone dropping dead at the same time is just.
Yeah, the game really did not know what to do.
Well, now we know that's a thing.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it's hilarious. My cheeks hurt from just smiling. It's not just one thing goes wrong; it just crashed. There we go.
Yeah, hopefully he won't dodge this time. There we
There
go.
we go. That's much better.
Oh dear. Wow.
Oh, there's this door now.
Yeah, so this part of the episode is, break down the door. Or defeat all the enemies before breaking down the door. And it's like, why would we do that? It's much quicker to just, break down the door. So we'll do that, Oh, won't let me. Oh, whatever. It would not let me select my attack. So
Techie has been such a problem this entire run. It's suiting that he can't shoot the broadside of a door.
Quite literally.
Also, poison gas, if you can't tell. Things did not just had a green light turned on. There's poison gas everywhere. So the whole reason you're trying to break down the door and escape is to chase the villain and get out of this room. This is a game.
I think what happened with that other round was the game did not know how to advance turns because, technically I still had one team member alive, which was Assault, but Assault was still under charm, so I couldn't control that. The game didn't know what to do. I think that's what happened. There we go.
Hey, you knock on the door enough and it falls down. So all doors work.
So here we go. Here's the final phase of the final fight, which hopefully, I won't get. I have had this soft lock before from too many enemies spawning on screen, but I've only ever had that happen once. So hopefully, we don't get another soft lock in here.
Also, just for the record, dude on the stage murdered the director, basically, who has been trying to organize this whole thing, and he's the big bad.
Yep. So, fun fact, we've used Eagle Lasso to pull in the bosses close to us quite a few times during this run. Eagle Lasso does not care about height differences.
Yep.
So,
there we go.
yeah, and I want to now switch over here. I need to find weakness on the boss here so that, he will take more damage with everything.
I love the fact that find weakness is just a magnifying glass.
Yeah.
I just noticed that, actually.
Yeah. The dude is literally like 18 feet tall, and the magnifying glass from 15 feet away would make everything obscure. But, it's done.
So we're going to use the driver kick again. Come on, let me select the square. Oh, fine, I'll just select that square. Well, knocked out my star. will trample again.
Gotta love the free actions.
Yeah, and now I'm going to go back to the scout here and use the lightning dagger. And I'm going to do the same here. Kanjiabo has resurrected himself from the grave, and he is going to let me select the tile. There we go.
There we go. Also, I do love the star cape on the evil guy too. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
But also the weird happy face looking chest plate he has.
So I'll be able to do multi-attack with quite a few specials in the next turn and should hopefully take him down. If the game does not crash.
I like how the one enemy is protected because your character's on the same tile.
Yeah.
You want to avoid those guys getting to the big guy there because that's his weapons that he's trying to get.
Yep, but that is that phase of the boss down, and
He's even taller.
yeah, now he's even taller, but he's got very little health left, so. And we've got some more free actions shenanigans here.
Oh, so time's coming up soon, I believe.
Yeah, hopefully. As long as nothing else goes so insanely wrong. Join everybody up here close.
I got yellows on top of red. Oh, so that's a really good design for the Linux, though.
Yeah.
Oh, so he can no longer teleport in his form as well.
Yeah, he can't teleport, thankfully.
Yeah.
If he could teleport, I have no idea what I would do at this point. Let's see, I want to hopefully lasso him in a position where... Oh, okay, well, it did not...
What?
I wanted him in the middle of the screen, not the side. Oh well, we can still find weakness on him. And I can go back to, well, I can go to Kanji here and do another driver kick. The driver kick did not go full distance. I have no idea how that happened.
Oh, gosh.
This is just...
This is a video game at this point.
I genuinely do not have any idea how.
Oh, good. He's walking towards everyone, though, so that's something.
Yeah. Push the assault away. I mean, lead away, but... Yeah, we're fine. Thankfully.
So you're getting full health recoveries more or less every turn, though, right? Like this
Yeah.
is you can't really lose this fight.
No. Whew.
Uh-huh. Everything's wrapping up now.
Thankfully.
All we have to do is make sure we win this battle.
Yep, we just need to win this battle, which is
Yeah.
why I'm not going to attack.
Yeah, that's a lot of health on his side, for the record. Like
Yeah.
a lot.
So you can win this fight normally, but you know, since this is the home stretch, the game wants you win. So there's a mechanic in this that if you lose this fight, then all of your audience members make you super powered, and yeah, it's much faster than actually beating the boss correctly.
Oh, so mathematicians, I'm sorry, 994% accuracy probably hurts some people.
This attack is so likely to hit that I'm trying to come up with a way I can joke about it, but that's too stupid. You need to come up with like a wordplay.
And
boy.
then
Oh boy! But as soon as the screen goes, that's going to be time. Thankfully.
you did an amazing job, Cosmic. Don't think you didn't. You had the worst RNG going.
Oh my goodness! I can't believe that RNG. Everything that was going wrong. I cannot believe that.
Ever enjoy the dancing bear?
Oh my goodness!
Oh yeah, there's a Barney dinosaur thing that has a sniper rifle in it. Don't worry about him.
We didn't see him in the storyline since we skipped a season, and we also didn't go down that story path. But yeah, these are all the bosses that appear in the credits that are possible to fight against.
Yep.
But obviously, quite a few of them we didn't actually see because of skipping season 1 of the game and also going down a different, certain storyline. But yeah, that is Chroma Squad.
Yep. GG.
I don't feel like it was GG, but you know.
Okay, G. Just G. It's game.
Okay. You made the best of a terrible hand and a crash.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Thank you all. Please keep enjoying Questy for Glory. And thank you, Ghost, Kumo, and Shani for sticking around.
Absolutely. It was a lot of fun to commentate
Absolutely.
this.
Yeah, that is a very silly game, and I need to add it straight to my Steam wish list.
It's a really challenging game if you play on the higher difficulties as well. Like, it's legitimately difficult. Not bad RNG difficult, but like, if you don't follow the script that Cosmic was doing, you're going to have a hard time figuring out a lot of battles, and Cosmic did an amazing job on this run. I can't stress that enough.
Y'all have any final shout-outs or thanks to give out?
Cosmic, you got anything?
No, I'm good.
Alrighty. Thanks everyone for tuning in to Chroma Squad. Up next we got Final Fantasy VII Remake. New game plus hard difficulty by the Sid, so stick around for that. Got a lot of exciting incentives for that one.